get you anything else, sir?
The barmaid collected the empty plate and ale mug from the table. The man sat there looked in his mid-60s, his messy hair and unkempt beard a mix of dark ginger and grey, and his nose was bulbous and mottled. As he looked up and smiled, the warts and moles on his face vanished within the many wrinkles that tore across his face like ravines carved through the earth, giving him an uncanny appearance of someone both old and young.
Nothing for me, lass. I'm just here for the company.
I'll check in on you again in a little while.
As the barmaid turned to leave with a smile, the old man stopped her.
I don't mean to be a bother, but you're with that fine-looking lad over there by the bar, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. We're actually to be wed in the turn of the season. I've always dreamed of an autumn wedding.
Oh, that's lovely, that is. I'm very happy for you. I don't know that I could make sense of a polygamy relation like that. But you three seem to be working just greatly.
Whatever do you mean, sir?
Oh, that other lass he was with the other day, they seemed very loverly together as well, and I assumed you three were all some sort of item with how open they were about. Oh no, I said something I shouldn't have, haven't I?
No, sir. I'm sorry. I've forgotten something in the back room.
The barmaid stormed off quickly, shooting a glare at the lad by the bar who, with a confused look in return, excused himself to follow her and see what had upset her so.
Oh, my beard.
The old man watched the couple disappear as a smirk stretched across his face. Of course he knew exactly what he was doing, and he remembers the other day as clear as anything. In fact, he remembers firsthand making out with that other lass. He looked very different to how he did now, of course. The spitting image of that lad by the bar, in fact. The changeling always had a knack for faces. So much subtlety and nuance. It was like a day at the playground shaping it all for the role.
Well, I'd best be getting off now. Good day, all.
They knew the couple would be fine in the end. Probably. The lad would neither recognise nor know the name of this other woman. And with how close she was, she would soon realise the man didn't have the same eye colour as the handsome stranger she met that day. See, as much as the changeling had a knack for faces, the one thing they could never get the hang of was the eyes. The windows to the soul, as it were. But it turned out very few seemed to notice or care about the lilac eye colour when the face matched so well. These mortals did love to lie to themselves. It was just a little bit of fun anyway. Some playful chaos in what the changeling realised quite quickly was a very dull world. For all its busyness and hurry, nobody did anything. The masks everyone wore, the lives they were pretending to have, it was all so
boring! The least they could do is fight for like a day. Ugh!
Only a couple hours had passed, and the changeling could see the happy couple swooning over each other like nothing had happened. Upon reflection, the deception wasn't well thought out. There were too many holes. It was
too small.
Yeah, too small. They were only messing with a handful of people at a time, and never with anything truly impactful. They needed to...
I need to do something bigger.
They needed to do something bigger. Over the next few weeks, the changeling explored every inch of this new city. From every place they shouldn't have been, wearing a different person's face each time, taking what didn't belong to them, planting it where it shouldn't be, starting fights, romances, rumours, and numerous acts of mindless vandalism bearing the smile of some member of the town watch or local government. They had succeeded in bringing some of the chaos of Alfheim to this dull world. They watched with wild glee as these people whose visages they took were caught for crimes they knew nothing of. Finally, something exciting was happening to them. This was fun, wasn't it? Or was it too much? Back home, the Fae caught for causing strife or misdemeanours would make a big and sarcastic show of remorse, the accuser feigning insult and aggression. It was like a twisted dance of carefree guilt before they would both lose interest and part ways. It was fun. This, though, the mortal men would be dragged away in silence or tears. It was sad. Or was this how the mortals displayed their false remorse?
The boss ain't gonna be happy.
The changeling spun around at the voice. They'd gotten so wrapped up in thought one of these mortals had managed to sneak up on them, their eyes darting around to find the source of this whisper in the dark. A look of concern washing over the soft and freckled face of the barmaid they tried to deceive a few weeks before. An innocent face, hiding the glimmer of guilt.
You seem distracted. I'm over here, love.
The voice came from behind them. Whoever it was blended with the shadows like it was their home. The changeling couldn't see them. And then they couldn't see anything.